Hey guys, welcome to day 4 of your 30-day challenge. This challenge is here to help you to live up to your highest potential, tap into it, right? And start living your life based on your highest values, based on your highest potential. So how many of you think about worst case scenario for everything? Raise your hand. Like, comment in the chat below, in the comments below. Are you a worst case scenario thinker? That is me, worst case scenario. So today we're going to talk about this. Over the next 30 days, you are going to learn. We're basically challenging your brain. We're reprogramming it. We're teaching it new things. We're teaching it to rewire itself so that it starts thinking on best case scenarios, right? And not even just thinking about best case scenarios, but actually programming it to only see best case scenarios, right? And to assume the best case scenario and to know that the best case scenario is going to happen to you, right? And to see this on a regular basis, right? Feel it on a regular basis. So if you are a worst case scenario thinker, this is definitely for you. If you are kind of in between, obviously this is for you too. This will just take you to a whole new level. So for today, I just want you to become aware of how many times you think about worst case scenarios, okay? So if you're driving in your car, you're walking, you're sitting, you're looking at your phone, you're watching TV, you're going to sleep, you're waking up, I want you to become very aware of what you're thinking about. So a lot of times we don't even know that we are thinking, right? We are in a trance. And then at some point there's a switch that goes off where we all of a sudden realize that we're thinking about something, and then we're like, and then all of a sudden these feelings come up, and you might get that like heart palpitation, or you might be like, oh my God, like what if this or what if that? And then all of a sudden the thought train takes off, right? And I used to teach this to my mom clients all the time, is to become aware that the thoughts are starting to come up. We'll get really good at stopping them from causing emotions, or rather, if they do cause emotions, we'll move through them energetically and subconsciously. But for right now, I just want you to become aware that these thoughts happen, and all of a sudden there's a click, and then you get these feelings in your body, and then all of a sudden the thought train takes off, okay? So become aware of when the thought train takes off. And where are your thoughts going? Typically, it's going to be every single worst case scenario possible, right? You'll be like, what if this happens? What if that happens? And it will just keep going. And you'll probably think about 1,000 worst case scenarios for a very small event. Now, I want to say scientifically, because I'm pretty sure that's what it is, 99% of what you assume is going to happen never actually happens, right? And that is a very big deal. Now, as you become aware of these thoughts and how you jump on worst case scenario thought trains, I want you to keep in mind that we typically think 97%, I'm pretty sure that's the percentage, of the same thoughts every single day. Every single day. The same patterns of thoughts, the same worst case scenarios, the same people, the same things over and over again, and we are unaware of it, okay? So what we're doing is shifting that, right? Because the more we become aware of ourselves and how we think and how we feel on our daily habits, the more we're like, oh shit, I didn't even realize that I was thinking all these negative thoughts, or thinking all these worst case scenarios, or feeling all these feelings on a daily basis, and that these same thoughts and feelings are coming up every single day. Now, we can't make a change if we are literally thinking the same thoughts and feelings every single day. We can't. We are just setting ourselves up to live the same exact life, feeling and thinking the same exact things for the rest of our lives. Let me just say that again. We are literally thinking, if 97% of what we think every single day are the same thoughts and feelings, right? We're going to continue to feel that way for the rest of our lives. So if you are on this challenge to make a change, then you have to start becoming aware of what you're thinking, how you're feeling, how often that is happening, right? You can track it if you want, but that's not necessary. You have to become more aware up here so that the change can happen faster, right? That you are thinking these same thoughts and feelings, right? And then be like, oh shit, I didn't realize how much I was thinking these things and feeling these things, these emotions, these negative emotions over and over again. and be like, well, I don't want to live the rest of my life like this, right? I want to live it differently, right? You want to live it up to your highest potential. You want it to be joyful and happy and full of abundance and wealth and prosperity and good health and things like that, right? We want that. So if you want that life, then you have to change the way that you've been thinking on a daily basis. Now, all your thoughts and feelings are truly, truly valid, okay? That is a huge thing. That's why I do a lot of tapping and we do a lot of inner child work. But that is true, right? We do need to do those things, but we also have to start making the shift. Okay. So we do have to put in a little bit of work. Now, when we do this little bit of work, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to start changing your brain quicker. Okay. It doesn't take a lot of time or energy. I'm not asking you to sit for 20 minutes and fix your thoughts and feelings, right? I'm not asking you to do that. I'm just asking you to become aware of how many times a day you think about this, right? Now, when you realize that you are thinking about this, I want you to try, okay, the first several times is going to be a bit of a challenge for you. And keep going with it, okay? Because the more you challenge yourself, the more you create those new neural pathways in your brain, the easier it's going to become to switch from one side to the other, right? Yesterday, we talked about talking ourselves off the ledge, right? And those 17 seconds. So this is piggybacking off of that, right? Okay, so you're really going to find the sweet spot for you. But in this case, so let's say you're thinking about 1,000 worst case scenarios. So what I want you to do is become aware that this is your old story, right? Of thinking about thousands of worst case scenarios. And I want to ask you, I want you to ask yourself, what happens if everything works out? How does that feel? And you're probably going to be like, oh, it's going to feel great. You're going to feel like relief, right? What happens if everything works out for you? Okay. And you're going to ask yourself, show me what the possible best case scenarios are, right? Because we talked about that. I'm pretty sure it's the reticular activating system, right? We're so focused on this, right? So you only have such a narrow view, and we want to open that view to start seeing that there are other possibilities, right? There are other possibilities. We just have trained our brain to only see worst case scenarios. So if we trained our brain to do that, then it stands to reason we can train our brain to do the opposite, right? So you're having this narrow view, and we want to open it up to be like, okay, well, what are the best case scenarios, right? Now, I will tell you, this got me out of postpartum depression and anxiety. This got me out of a narcissistic, abusive marriage, right? This got me jobs. This got me opportunities. This got me feeling really good. This got me synchronicities, right? Just from seeing what are show me the possible best case scenarios, right? And run through your head the possible best case scenarios. Now, again, this is not going to happen just like right this second, all right? It's going to take you time and time again to notice that you are thinking worst case scenarios and to be like, okay, wow, that's a whole lot. Okay, that's my old story. All right. And now, what if everything worked out for me? What if this whole situation worked out for me? What if everything in my life moving forward worked out for me? And you're, even as I say it, I'm like, whew, like it's like such a weight has been lifted, right? And then you're going to be like, show me the possible best case scenarios. Show me all the possible best case scenarios, or what are the possible best case scenarios, right? Whatever feels right for you. And start thinking about best case scenarios. Like the same way you run through the negative or the worst case scenarios, right? Run through the best case scenarios. And as your brain goes back, right? Because it's trained to do that. Be like, okay, these are valid, right? Like, but this is my old story. This is my new story. What if everything in my life worked out for me? What if everything worked out for my highest good? What if this situation worked out for my highest good? How would I feel? And what would I be thinking? And show your brain what you would be thinking if it worked out for you. And it could be, and you don't have to, try not to analyze it, right? Allow it to come to you. Allow yourself to be like, oh, well, I guess anything's possible, right? That could work out for me, because your brain is focused on what won't work out for you. And you're thinking about every single possible solution that is negative, right? So it's really not a solution, but so your brain's already doing that. You're just switching it to, okay, what are the possible best case scenarios? Now, when you start overanalyzing, you quickly shift back. So just be like, okay, well, if I want, let's say you want a new job, or say you want more money, or say you want better health, or say you want to be a better parent, or things like that. Like, say you want to do those things, how are the best case scenarios? So instead of thinking like, oh, it's going to take a lot of time to go to the gym, it's going to not, work out, I'm not going to be able to lose weight, I'm not going to be able to do this. Please forgive me for using gym examples. That's the easiest way for me to help you with this. Is you're going to be like, well, best case scenario, what if I work out from home? Like, that's a possibility. I could do that. Or what if I meet a lot of friends at the gym? Or what if it really works out for me and I start losing weight quickly, or I get in shape quickly? Or what if the gym I find is awesome, and what if I find friends there, and what if all of this stuff works out for me? So what we're doing is shifting to best case scenario. Okay, so for today, just become aware of how many times you think worst case scenario, right? And what you're ruminating about, and how often you're ruminating about those things, and be like, shit, like this has got to change, because if I'm still thinking those same thoughts every single day, my life is going to continue to be that way, right? All worst case scenarios. Okay. So you want to start thinking, okay, what are the best case scenarios? Make that shift, because you want to start changing what's in your head. That's at 97%, and start thinking of all of those thoughts and feelings that you would feel if everything did work out for you, so that your life will work out for you, and you will be thinking 97% of the time on those thoughts and feelings, right? So slowly reprogramming that brain and making that switch. Now, this is a daily practice. You got to do these daily practices. And a good way to make that switch is sort of what we talked about yesterday, those 17 seconds where you're kind of talking yourself out of it, right? Talking yourself to higher level of emotions, higher level of thought processes, right? Because we've been living at a very low level of thoughts, right? Even if you guys are geniuses, really low levels of emotions and thoughts, right? So this channel is all about living up to your highest potential. So we need to change that. We need to up level ourselves, even if it's to neutral. But we want to get all the way up here, right? To be like, okay, well, we need new thoughts, feelings, and emotions. We need new best case scenarios. We need to be running on that to really, truly make a change, so that the change is much easier for us. Okay. Leave it in the comments below after this day is over how you did. Was it difficult? Was it challenging? Did it become easy? Did you realize that you had so many thoughts and worst case scenarios that you're going all over? I want to hear in the comments below. Please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you get a notification every time these videos are uploaded. And keep going. You got it. You made it to day 4. I'm so very proud of you. Thank you so much for joining. I'm Danielle Kotis, your host of this 30-day challenge and Level Up to Glow Up. Thank you so much. I'm sending you so much light and love as always. Until next time.